There's many happy returns for the Cuban President Raul Castro, who's 85 today. Castro became president of Cuba following the retirement of his elder brother Fidel in 2008. Well, since assuming the leadership, Raul has implemented numerous social, economic and political reforms, and relations with the US have improved. While Antoni Kapcia is a professor of Latin American history at the University of Nottingham and joins us now. Professor Kapcia, thanks for joining us here on TRT World. So what kind of legacy do you think Raul Castro will have when he comes to the end of his term as president?
It's an interesting legacy because it was a hard act to follow, following his brother, but also he's had to deal with balancing the demands for more economic activity and more material benefit with the demands for keeping the base of the system, for keeping faith with the ideology and with what everyone calls the revolution. So it has been a difficult act, and I think that he's by and large managed it so far, and I think at the moment his legacy seems to be that.
He seems to have steered the course from his brother, as his brother perhaps would have wanted. But what comes next?
I think we have a pretty good idea who is likely to be the next president. That is the current and surprising first vice president, Miguel Diaz-Canel. He came out from most people's point of view, but is highly thought of, and he represents a younger generation, which I think has been brought in the last 5 years or so. But of course, Raul isn't necessarily going to go away. He will stop being president in 2018, that's most likely. But he was recently, just this year, just a month or so ago, re-elected as first secretary of the party, the Communist Party. That could take him up to 2021. It may not. He's indicated that he would be bringing a new generation in completely by then. So at some stage between now and 2021, it could conceivably be a younger leadership in the party as well. But I don't think very much necessarily will change in the short term because the concerns are the same. And I think the need to balance up material rewards with keeping the faith with the basic ideology is likely to remain the watchword of the new generation as well. Absolutely.
I'm sure they will maintain the ideology, as you say. Professor Kapcia, then what do you make of the future of Cuba in light of its deal with the United States in recent months?
It's interesting that the improved relations with the United States have made a difference with the atmosphere, have made a difference to the tone of politics. But the Cubans are quite understandably cautious because most of the changes which have happened since have been changes that have benefited the American side more than the Cuban side. In other words, allowing more Americans to travel, allowing companies to breach the embargo effectively. Those have tended to be very much one-sided, and the Cubans have been cautious because they recognize that the United States policy, as both President Obama and John Kerry have admitted, the policy has not changed. The policy is still to change the Cuban system, and that seems understandably to make them very cautious.
Okay, well, Professor Kapcia from the University of Nottingham, we thank you for joining us on TRT World.